Hi, I'm Brian Martin from Keep Smart Plus, distributor of Portage outdoor yard furnaces. It gives me great pleasure to introduce you to the latest member of our outdoor furnace family, the Portage 250 wood gasification unit. It's built with the same solidures that we've been building our conventional outdoor boilers for over 30 years. It's built with features that have stood the test of time, like reverse return heat exchanger, Scotch Marine design heat exchanger, rounded fire pot, over under air. We've added a lot of refractory brick to the stove to make it burn extremely efficient and to gasify really easily. Let's get into going over the features of the stove in more detail right away. Two-stage opening on the door handle. Everything is laser cut, countersunk, welded from the other side. Pyramid style door, rolled lip, very good quality gasket, full of high temp insulation. Nothing for creosote. It stays really dry. This stove burns very clean. We got a nice little fire going in there, tamarack wood. Easy to open and close door. Heavy duty 3/8 latches, half-inch pins. I'm going to show you the fire. Normally we don't open it with the stove burning, but I wanted to show you how dry it stays. There's no creosote on the door. We've been burning this on slow and faster burns for the last 4 or 5 days. Rounded fire pot. The air is introduced from the top of the fire in the back. It's uniquely introduced to give us a really nice burn. The only way out for the smoke to go is to go down through the slot in the bottom of the stove. There's a slot in the bottom of the refractory brick. The smoke has to go down into the reaction chamber. When it goes down into the reaction chamber, it ignites and burns at temperatures from 18 to up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. Very hot. We're talking forge temperatures down there. Let's have a look in the reaction chamber here right now. We'll open this up and see what's going on down here. So it's gasifying quite nicely. You can see the flame coming down there. A lot of blue in the flame. What happens again is the smoke is forced down through a slot in the bottom of the stove. We introduce air at that point, and the gasification starts to take place. It's directed towards the front of the stove where it comes and hits the door here. We have a heavy refractory brick on the door, the refractory wool, and a cast in place layer of protection. So there's 3 layers of protection on the door. Paint won't burn off the outside of the door even though the intense heat that we're seeing from below here. Let's put this piece of steel in here. We'll show you how quick it can be hot. Just to show you that it's not hot, it's a cool piece right now. See if I can get it set in there. We put this piece of metal in the reaction gasification chamber to show you how hot this flame is. It's a blue flame, very, very hot. We know that steel starts to melt at temperatures of about 2,400 degrees Fahrenheit. At this burn temperature that we're burning in this reaction chamber, we're burning up all the smoke, we're burning up all the creosote. We're getting good heat result from the smoke rather than going up the stack as unburnt gases. The reason we can achieve these temperatures is the way the smoke has to come down through the slot you see in the top of this reaction chamber from the fire pot. It comes down through this slot. We introduce oxygen at this point and we achieve temperatures of 18 to 24 up to 3,000 degrees Fahrenheit. The heat has to come out of this reaction gasification chamber that we're watching here, comes all the way to the front of the stove, hits the door, turns around 180 degrees at the door, and starts its journey back through the first pass of the heat exchanger to the back of the stove. We're water cooled on both sides of this bottom of this gasification chamber. We go to the back of the stove and we start up 6 tubes of 2-inch in size where we turn 90 degrees and go to the front of the stove where we do a 180 degree turn and come to the back of the stove. We're going to take this out and have a look at it here. It's already getting pretty warm. It's turning very red at the end. We'll put it back in and we'll go around and we're going to have a look at the heat exchanger, the Scotch Marine heat exchanger in the back of the stove. We're not going to stop this video. It's going to run continuously. You see the intense fire we have in the reaction chamber.
Let's go around to the back and have a look at this Scotch Marine heat exchanger and how efficient it really is.
Back here we have our pump access door. We have our heat exchanger. These are the 6 tubes that come up from the bottom chamber. Right here it'll be hot. That's coming up from the reaction chamber where it was 18 to 2400 degrees, up to 3000 degrees. A lot of our competitors will end their heat exchanger at something like that and go into the stack. We do a 90-degree turn and go to the front of the stove through these 10 tubes with the turbulators in it. At the front of the stove, we turn around and come to the back, and we have another 10 tubes with turbulators in it.
1.5 inches in size. There's only going to be dust up here. It's very easy to brush the dust out. We're going to put our hand in this heat exchanger. This is something that we would not recommend. Our temperatures are always under 250 degrees. Very, very efficient. So here we're going back to the gasification chamber. Still burning very, very hot. The temperature is up to 3000 degrees Fahrenheit. This piece of steel is getting very hot. It's turning cherry red now. We're going to take it out and show you something here, a little water trick. We're going to boil some water, put it into a pot of cold water, and instantly boiling. Here we're going to go into the back access doors to the back end of our stove. Nice large paddle lock latches, large doors, easy to access everything in the back end of the stove. We have the access door to the second and third pass of our heat exchanger. Adjustable latches, easy to open and close. The heat comes up through these 6 tubes of 2 inch in size. It does a 90-degree turn and goes to the front through these 10 tubes with turbulators in them. Easy to pull out the turbulators to dust out. We just brush them out once in a while. At the front of the stove it does a 180-degree turn and comes to the back for the 4th pass of the heat exchanger before it goes up the stack. Again, turbulators in all the pipes. All you're getting is dust up there. Very easy to clean, very easy to access. Our temperature up in this chamber is always under 250 degrees Fahrenheit. It's constructed of 1/4 inch cold roll steel, double welded. Easy to access doors. We put the best gasket we could find on the doors. All the doors seal up very well. Adjustable latches again. Hookups for supply lines. Comes out the top. You could tee off and go to more buildings if you wanted to. You can mount your pumps, your circulator pumps in this area. The return lines are on the bottom of the stove. We return the cold water back into the bottom of the stove. Johnson Control A419 Aquastat, accurate within 1 degree. You can set your differential in there, up to 30-degree differential. High limit for safety. The high limit will shut everything down before it got to a boiling point. Johnson Control off-the-shelf Aquastats, very easy to get. Will last for a long time inside the cabinet, out of the weather, out of the smoke, out of the weather. Our air box has adjustable air above the fire and below the fire. The fan is a fully enclosed ball bearing fan, capacitor started, thermally protected, very good quality ball bearing fan. Fully enclosed. We have a 120 volt motor to shut off the air positively with a gasketed shut off in the air box, so we get total shut off of our air. Let's go around to the front and have a look at the front of the heat exchanger.
Behind here is the access to the front part of the heat exchanger. Easy to access the again on hinges, and all you're going to see is that's where the heat has to come up from the bottom through this set of tubes, turns around and goes to the back. Still very clean, but a little bit of dust in there, but easy to access, easy to get at, easy to service. Thank you for taking the time to watch our video. Hopefully it's been informative. You can reach us at 1-800-561-0700 or visit our website at www.portageandmainboilers.com. You could reach any of our knowledgeable dealers, talk to them, or call our staff. I'd be more than pleased to talk to you at any time. Again, at 1-800-561-0700. Thanks again.